Morning Shadows was written a long time ago. It's about an experience I had in the early morning when I was about to jog. And I want to share this poem with you because I met a young black man in the wee hours of the morning. Listen to this poem called Morning Shadows. As I walked towards my jogging area at 4:30 a.m., a young black face between 20 and 25 years of age fell out of the early morning shadows. His body leaned against space as if disconnected from his face. Moving his head slowly in snake motion, he swerved his face in my direction, hissing menacingly. Eyes pointed at my woman breast softness of my jogging suit. Lips licked like fangs tongued the air in readiness to inject residue fuel venom from a night drug sniff. Real fluid ritual movements. I watch the young man in motion while his head repeated its rope motion attitude, and his eyes made an incision to strike, incision, decision, to strike its target. Mark complete. I spoke. Jesus is waiting. His head stupid jerked and reared straight up before crouching low in alert stillness, red eyes rolling and bouncing contemplation. At least I thought his eyes was red in the dark. A cigarette flagged his fingers before falling onto the gray cold cement walk in soundless tone. His right foot raised itself, then in grinding, slow deliberation mashed the cigarette into a flighting, lifeless existence. He loves you. Jesus loves you, I repeated softly in whisper tones, breaking the dark shadow sound curtains of dawn. Speechless, his lips fell open and waited as if a camera had caught this motion and had enlarged the pose in one quick finger click. I could still see in this early morning the words I spoke located an entrance to his soul and caused it to fall deeply into the well of his ears. The echo reverberating against the walls of his heart and soul, for the front of his face split open softly. His eyes held a startled gaze. He lifted his right hand to his face, rubbing his eyes while his body straightened itself and moved slowly out of the shadows towards me. The space between us closed and slapped warmth into the early dawn chill, while eternity's patience held this moment in suspension. The young black man's lips bubbled in soundless movements, his mouth working rapidly, pulling at his soul in repeated motions until his lips clapped open in joy. His body shifted to new rhythm patterns. He spoke. I'm on drugs. I know I'm wrong. I was going to make a play for you, but something stopped me. Something stopped me. Something stopped me. Just like that, something stopped me. My father was talking about Jesus. My father was talking about Jesus. It was just last week. I was in front of a church and I looked up and I asked Jesus to forgive me for something I did to my best friend last week. My name is Dennis Eldridge Harrison. Dennis Eldridge Harrison. Don't forget now, Dennis Eldridge Harrison. I live in that building over there. Dennis Eldridge Harrison. I shook his hand gently. Holding it warmly, I touched his shoulders with pressing hands. My fingers brushed his cheeks. My cheek brushed warmly against his cheek in this early morning silence. I hugged his soul in this soft moment and repeated, Jesus loves you. I do too. As I walked away, the young man stood as if he had been transfigured in the remnants of early dawn shadows of light. Jesus loves you. He's waiting for you with open arms. I love you too. I repeated in low breath tones, ribboning the dark shadows around him with light. My footsteps pedaled slowly in backward jogging rhythms. I could still hear him repeating his name, Dennis Eldridge Harrison, as the distance between us lengthened. Heart intercessory prayers burst forth from my humble lips fervently for a young black man caught in the dawn-chill shadows of an early April morning in Queens, New York.